Hey y'all, it's your boy Dream who's back with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about my favorite team, the Miami Heat. Oh man, this is a video I really don't want to make, but I gotta put my opinions out there and let y'all know about the Miami Heat, man. We're gonna be talking about what happened this year, and we're gonna do a brief summary of what we should do next going into the future, y'all. So stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, and let's get into it. Let's have a quick recap of the 2019-2020 season. In March, when the NBA shut down and the bubble started, the Miami Heat were a 5th seed team in the Eastern Conference, and they had basically a Cinderella run to the NBA Finals. They swept the Indiana Pacers in the first round after all that talk TJ Warren was doing. Then beat the 1st seed Milwaukee Bucks with the MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year that year, Giannis, and in a gentleman's sweep on it. Honestly, we should have swept them. And then we beat the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games to advance to the NBA Finals. And then we lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games. While we were dealing with injuries with Goran Dragic with a fractured foot and Bam Adebayo's wrist, we still managed to push the Lakers to 6 games, which no other team in the playoffs did that year to that Lakers except the Miami Heat team that year. So you might be wondering what happened this year, and I'm gonna go right into it. My first and main reason why we got swept this year in the playoffs is Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, who is our best players on the Heat. They will get the lion's share of the credit, so I'm gonna have to give them the most of the blame for us losing in the first round. Both of them didn't even average the most points for our team. That was Goran Dragic, who averaged 16 points. Let me start first with Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, who was top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year. Also, his career averages in points, assists, and free throw shooting was being left wide open by Brook Lopez on the top of the free throw line. A quick, easy mid-range. Sometimes he didn't take it. I'm not saying he's a Ben Simmons, because he was taking those mid-range shots in the regular season, but then during the playoffs, Brook Lopez was leaving him wide open. So that's the first thing I would say about Bam Adebayo. He needs to lock himself in the gym with Chris Bosh and just practice pick and pop mid-ranges. Pick and pop. I'm not even asking for a 3-pointer. Just a reliable mid-range. So Brook Lopez wouldn't sag off you by 5 feet and just leave you wide open. Brook Lopez was leaving Bam Adebayo wide open in the mid-range area, and Bam wouldn't take it. He'll try to do a handoff with Duncan Robinson. No, you're the second best player on the team. You got to either try to dribble and try to go right behind what Giannis be doing, or take that mid-range shot. Make them pay for leaving you wide open. That's the one thing Bam Adebayo needs to work on if he wants to take his step to the next level. And then Jimmy Butler. The de facto best player on our team, wasn't even the second best player on our team in the playoff series. Jimmy Butler, after he said he was stupidly locked in for the playoffs, he lied to us. Jimmy Butler this postseason averaged 14.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Not bad numbers for a good player, but not good numbers for Jimmy Butler. And then he shot 30% from the field, 26% from 3, and 73% from the free throw line. All of them numbers are down. All of them. Even free throw shooting. He's a career 84% free throw shooter, and he shot 73% from the line this series.
Lucas.
And which is more worse is that Jimmy Butler got outscored by Brent Forbes in the series, a role player for the Milwaukee Bucks. That is unacceptable. You are the best player on the team and you got outplayed by a role player, man. Obviously, I know Jimmy will step up next year, but man, this was bad. This was really bad. Our 2 best players didn't have reliable jump shots when we needed it most. That's what killed us. That's what killed us in this playoff series. Jimmy Butler needs to work on his jump shot and work on his game. Same with Bam Adebayo. We can't have our 2 best players not be able to shoot a 3-pointer consistently. I'm not even saying be like a Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. Just have a reliable 3-point shot. But Jimmy Butler needs to go back to what he was in Minnesota when he was a 35% three-point shooter in Minnesota. His 2 years in Miami, he's been shooting 24% from three. That is unacceptable. They need to step up. So that's my first point of what happened this year. Our two best players didn't play to the caliber we expected them to play. And Jimmy Butler had career averages too in rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, and steals. But in playoffs, they're all dipped. All. And then my second reason why we got swept this year was losing Jay Crowder to the Suns. Jay Crowder was an essential 3-and-D player. After we did a mid-season trade for him. At times, he would guard the best player on the other team, and he helped guard Giannis when we were building the wall against Giannis that year. So even though sometimes his shooting would be questionable, Jay Crowder in the playoffs, his defense was always there, and when he was knocking down shots, he was a perfect piece for part of Miami. And we thought Trevor Ariza would be a slight downgrade. Trevor Ariza might as well just retire. It's just, Jay Crowder he was a big piece of part of this team, and losing him was another reason why we didn't make it far this year. And my third and final reason before I get to what's next, it might sound like an excuse, but not having Victor Oladipo. Because people forgot we traded Avery Bradley and Kelly Olynyk for Victor Oladipo, and he didn't even play in the playoffs, not a single minute. So I wouldn't say we beat Milwaukee with Victor Oladipo, but that was a player that we did miss, and maybe the series could have went differently if Victor Oladipo was there. So now let's get on to what's next for the Miami Heat, what y'all came for. So what's next for the Miami Heat? I have a few suggestions. My first suggestion is try to resign Victor Oladipo as quick as possible. If Victor Oladipo can go back to the same player he was in Indiana, or even close to he was when he was an all-star in Indiana, try to resign him as quick as possible. Second thing is we need to find a playmaker that can work good with Bam. Look what's happening with DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton is gonna get a bag this summer. Since he's been playing with Chris Paul, his game has been elevated. If we can get Bam Adebayo like a Mike Conley or Kyle Lowry, who can facilitate the offense and can play make and get their own shot, that can increase our team a lot. But if I'm being honest, those changes, would that make us as good as the Brooklyn Nets, or even as good as the Milwaukee Bucks? Would it even make us as good as them? Guys, I want to say more, but I don't know, man. Jimmy Butler's getting up there in age. Duncan Robinson, we do have bird rights on Duncan Robinson. Let's see how much he would want to get paid. And I'm not really on the Tyler Hero trade him. Like, if we can get a good player that'll make us better now, then I would agree to trade him. But I wouldn't just trade him for a bag of pennies. Like, come on, man, let's be smart. I truly believe that Pat Riley's gonna find something out there, a diamond out there that no one expects, that will make our team better. But we have to make some changes. We cannot expect to just run it back. That is a no-no, because the Brooklyn Nets are only gonna get healthier and better. The Milwaukee Bucks are gonna get better. The Boston Celtics are going to get better. Atlanta's definitely going to be back here. So we can't be left behind in the pack. We got to make some roster changes, some roster moves to improve our team and to get back to that NBA Finals that we were a year prior. Do I feel like we could? Yes, we can. We'll just have to do a few changes. Not a few, I lied. A lot of changes to this roster if we want to make it back to where we were. So, hey, guys. This is the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and man, y'all better like and subscribe, y'all, because more videos is coming out soon. I can't do after the game yet. I might be doing after the game with PS5 2K clips, because I don't have a camera yet. But stay tuned to that, y'all. It's your boy Dream Hoops out. Peace.